Most people think steam cleaning and hot water extraction are the same method for carpet cleaning, but they're not. And actually, choosing the wrong one can destroy your carpet. What is the best method of carpet cleaning? Dry cleaning, steam cleaning, hot water extraction? Can you hire one of those horrid machines from a supermarket and do it properly? I've got a little tip for you on that one, so you're going to want to keep watching. But which one is actually best? In this video, I'm going to break down each individual method for you, how it works, when it works, and why it works. In this video, I'm going to break down each of those methods with what works and what does not work, when you should use it and when you shouldn't use it. But then I'm also going to reveal at the end of the video the one factor that matters much more than the choice of the method. So you're going to need to keep watching for that one. I'm Lee, the founder and managing director of Vapor Clean Cleaning Services. I started the business as a professional carpet cleaner. We are now a 7-figure business with hundreds of staff providing a huge range of different services. It's now my job to stay ahead of the competition and up to date with every innovation within the industry. This channel and this video is here to give back to you and help you clean better, faster, and for less money. So thanks very much for watching, and let's jump straight in. We're going to start with the most common method, and that is hot water extraction. This is the one that usually gets referred to or confused as steam cleaning. There is a distinct difference. Basically, it's very obvious in the name. One is hot water, one is steam. It's all about the temperatures, and that does make a difference. So I'll try not to bore you too much, but keep watching and I'll explain that in a little bit more detail shortly. So how does hot water extraction work? Essentially, hot water extraction is a method of pre-spraying the carpet, agitating the carpet, and then the machine itself simply injects hot water into the carpet and instantly extracts it out. So you're literally rinsing the carpet through, and that's why the wand, as we call it, has the jets with the actual suction on the end. This method removes dirt from deep down within the carpet, and when done properly, can deliver the best possible results. It is a very, very effective method of carpet cleaning, which is why it's the most common. So what are the pros of hot water extraction? Well, it does clean very deep into the carpet. It is done, when done properly, a full deep clean. It's excellent for heavy soiling because you're really pushing the dirt in there. And again, it can be combined with mechanical agitation methods of varying different types to really lift that dirt and clean very, very thoroughly. You can actually click that link above and you can see just one of the pub carpets we cleaned not so long ago that actually looks like it had dirt caked on the top. And we've had to use a mechanical agitation combined with the right solution and then the hot water extraction to really lift it out. And that revives that carpet back to its original condition. Another pro is that it's got strong allergen removal as well, because it is high temperature. No, it's not steam, but it is high temperature. It is rinsing the carpet. It really resets the filter of your home that is your carpets. So what are the cons? Well, drying times can be a little bit longer than some methods. There is some risk if it's done poorly. If you use too much water, you can shrink a carpet, you can overwet a carpet, you can flood it into the back of the underlay. So you need to make sure that this method is done properly. Absolutely, that is the main factor. You have to have the right equipment with hot water extraction. So we've all seen these domestic machines that you can buy off of the shelf. That is hot water extraction, but they are typically for domestic use. They are reactive tools rather than deep cleaning. So it is a bit different than if you're using an industrial commercial carpet cleaner. They do have to be combined with the right solutions. They won't simply just work on their own. As I said before, it's not just a bit of water and a vacuum. You need to make sure that the process itself is done properly. So when do they work? They will work in most environments. So probably 90 to 95% of your homes, if not, no, probably 98% of homes will have carpets that these hot water extraction machines will work very, very well on. So in most places they will work. When don't they work? They will not work, and they should not be used on sisal or hessian. If you use them on that style of carpet, I actually hate that style of carpet myself, but you will cause shrinking. So that the carpet will literally shrink and pull away from the walls itself. And another place that it can work, don't get me wrong, it's just not the best method, is commercial carpet tiles. So really flat, rubber-backed tiles. You don't necessarily want hot water extraction because you can't get enough airflow. So with hot water extraction, you need a nice amount of airflow to go through your fibres so it pulls the dirt out. So steam extraction, actual steam extraction. The difference between hot water extraction and steam extraction, as I've said, is basically the temperature. So these are typically truck mounted machines as opposed to portable machines, and they will work at much higher pressure and much higher temperatures. So where does that work? That will typically work in commercial premises because they are more effective for sanitization than deep cleaning and stain removal. Because when you're looking at stain removal, too higher temperatures locks the stain in. So these methods have actually, they're very popular over in America for the more commercial, larger buildings, you know, where they're doing tons and tons of flat carpet. And they will sanitize more than anything else. It's not to say that they can't be used in domestic, but there is a little bit more of a risk. So where shouldn't they be used? Again, sisal and hessian carpets, absolutely not. The high temperature will damage it. You can't use them on fine fabrics. So if we're talking upholstery, again, high temperatures won't work. Stain removal, you can't use the high temperatures on stain removal because it will lock it in. And then you've also got to consider the backing style of your carpet as well. So if it is a glued backing, it can delaminate because of the carpet, so because of the high temperature. So it will literally cause the glue to melt and the fibers to part from the backing. The pros for steam cleaning though are very much, I've seen them used in cinemas and places like that. They are very much about sanitization, top level kind of cleaning, and they can be really quick, really fast drying because there's not lots of moisture in there. So they can be a very effective tool. But I've already gone through the cons as well as and the negatives in general as well. Yes, this is an actual thing. You have the powder and you have encapsulation. This is a virtually dry method of carpet cleaning. I've got to be honest and say, other than the powder, it's not completely dry, but it is safe for most fiber types and things like that. And it can be very, very thorough as well. So what are the pros of dry carpet cleaning? Well, of course, it's dry. You've got little to no drying time, which is absolutely brilliant, of course, in a lot of circumstances. It can be very, very fast, so you can cover large areas and in a short period of time. You don't need airflow. So this is one, so we have at Vapor Clean, we have multiple methods, and this is one of the methods that we use. but we tend to use it in our office spaces more than in our domestic properties, because for hot water extraction, you don't get that airflow through the carpet. Well, for the encapsulation, you don't need that. You are padding over the top, and the results are absolutely brilliant in the right environment. What are the cons? Well, when you've got a deep fibre, it doesn't necessarily get really deep down in there. You're not injecting anything down. With stain removal, it's not as thorough. Same reason, with hot water extraction, you're flushing the carpet out. You're pushing that water down to really move that stain and that build-up out. And again, with smells, so a lot of people will have carpets cleaned because they've got a recurring smell. We've got a video coming for that, by the way, so click that subscribe button and we're going to tell you how that we can remove those. In this circumstance though, with dry carpet cleaning, I personally don't feel that it's as thorough and as effective. So where can it be used? Absolutely, it can be used in your home, whether it is the dry powder or the encapsulation, it can be used. And it's really effective when it's combined with hot water extraction. It's better suited though for offices, commercial buildings, that type of carpet, because it works faster. It's much faster because it covers a larger surface area as you're cleaning, and essentially it doesn't need that airflow. So DIY and hire machines. Let's be honest, you're all expecting me not to be the biggest fan of these machines, and you're not going to be wrong, I'm not going to lie. But do I think they've got a place? Yes, actually I do. There are some pros and there are some cons, which obviously I'll run through with you. But it's the same with everything, and that's basically the very brief summary of this video. All of the methods that are available out there are available for a reason. They will have their place. They will work in the right circumstances. You just need to know what are the right circumstances. Am I going to go out and hire a machine from my local supermarket and clean a load of carpets? No, I'm not. I would also not buy the very famous brand off the shelf that makes one that you can buy. That's more of a wet vac than it is a carpet cleaner. That is the difference. I am, however, charging people to clean their carpets, so I wouldn't expect to be using that type of equipment. We should be doing it as a professional service, as we do. With these hire machines though, you need to make sure that you are careful. Number one, you need to make sure that you follow the instructions strictly, and you need to make sure that you are incorporating all of those little bits and pieces. Remember, that top tip, that most important factor, is coming soon. So keep watching for that, and that's going to be the big reveal, because it's even more important when you're hiring one for yourself. So what are the pros and cons? The pros, they're cheap. Granted, they are cheap. You can hire them for, probably less than £100 as far as I'm aware, and you can clean your whole house. You've probably got them for 2 days. You can do a mates as well at the same time if you want to. They're easy to use, they're lightweight, and they're quite straightforward. Can they do a good job? I mean, they can do a reasonable job. They can clean the surface so it would look better, and potentially, in the right circumstances, it would suffice. What's the cons? Well, number one, they won't deep clean. I'm sorry, I don't care what you say, I don't care what the manufacturers say, this is not a deep clean, and I can guarantee that if we were to stand them alongside one of our machines, we could get a better result. It is easy to make a mistake. I've seen when there are lines in the carpet, mainly because actually underneath the carpet is floorboards, and this machine can't give an even surface because there's more airflow in one place where that gap is between the floorboards. It's not cleaned that section enough, and it's caused a line. So that's easy done as well. They will be very wet, so you will have long dry times for them as well. So that is not ideal. But where can they be used? Where is a good place to use a DIY machine? If you're going for an end of tenancy, potentially, and it doesn't have to be a professional clean, but it does have to be a clean, that may be a good situation if you're on a tight budget. You know, if you just simply can't afford to get a professional in, maybe that's the right thing to do. Maybe you and your friends are all chipping in and, you know, it gets that way. But where shouldn't they be used? Well, number one, I would not be using these carpets on these machines on high quality, high-end wall carpets. They will sap up that moisture and they will really, really take a long, long time to dry. Essentially, if it is an end of tenancy and it's saying a professional clean, hiring a machine is not a professional clean. You could end up paying twice. So definitely be careful of that one. And of course, you need to make sure that you are knowing what you're doing. So if you're not sure what's underneath those carpets, as I've just described, that could cause an issue. So you may want to avoid it. We've got another bonus fact here for you before we reveal the one factor you have to consider no matter which method you choose. And that bonus fact is portable or truck mounted. Does that make a difference? There is obviously clear differences between the two types of machine. Now, there's also very much difference between the machine type as well. So if you go for a truck mount, there's very different varying machines in a truck mount, is the same as there is in portable. So truck mounted, they work, they are good, they do have their place. At Vapor Clean, we use portable machines. The reason we use portable machines is because we believe we use the Rolls Royce of portable machines. And the downside of a truck mount is typically that they are too high a temperature and they're too high a pressure. So on commercial carpets, as I was saying earlier, they can do a fantastic job. It can be very, very quick and it can cause no damage whatsoever. In a domestic setting though, you run the risk of glued carpets coming delaminated, as I was explaining earlier, overwetting. There's just more restriction with that. You also then have to make sure you can park directly out the front. You have to run hoses from the vehicle, which, don't get me wrong, some places that is a benefit. For us though, it's not the way that I like to go. So we are more of a fan of the portable machine. However, there's a very, very varied different options of portable. So I won't name brands, but we all know the yellow brand that you can buy. They do sell, supposedly, a carpet cleaner. That's not a carpet cleaner, that's a wet vac, in my opinion. It is nowhere near powerful enough. Our machines are big, they've got dual vacuums in them, dual pumps in them. They are very, very powerful and they are proven to extract and have consistent pressure from the machine at many, many meters beyond. So we carry a main hose and an extension hose, but we've tested them before with double that and they still deliver the same results. So it's not necessarily as the same as everything else. It's not necessarily a choice between the two. It's a choice what is right for your carpets you're looking to get cleaned. So here we are then, we're at the final takeaway and the big reveal of that one factor is, I have heard many horror stories over the years where people have said, oh, I've had my carpets cleaned and then they look dirty again in a few weeks. That's because of this one factor, and it has to be said, it's human error. It's not down to the method. So don't worry which method you're choosing, you need to make sure of this. And that's that they neutralize any solution they put into your carpet. To simplify it for you, when you pre-spray a carpet, which pretty much every carpet cleaning method needs, when you pre-spray a carpet, you extract it out, you will not ever, under any circumstances, get 100% of that solution out. So you need to neutralize it. Carpet cleaning is a science. It's playing with pH levels to remove the dirt. So when you pre-spray a carpet, you change the pH level. when you extract the carpet, your machine should have neutralizer within that solution. It's not pure water, it should have neutralizer in it, which brings that pH level back to where it should be and prevents your carpet from continuing to get dirty. Otherwise, the soap, to simplify it, just keeps attracting dirt, and that's why it gets dirty faster. Thank you very much for watching. If you are wondering whether or not professional carpet cleaning is worth the money compared to hiring a machine, why not click here and go out and check our video of what does carpet cleaning actually cost and is it worth it? And you don't have to finish your video watching here. You can click over here and you can see that disgusting pub carpet we did recently that just looks as though it's been caked. Start to finish, you can see the restoration process. Thanks very much for watching. Please do click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let us know what you think in the comments. Hope to see you again soon.